The night the war was supposed to begin, the village heard hundreds of howls rise from the forest at once. Children screamed. Men grabbed weapons. Women prayed like it was their final breath. And then silence. No attack, no blood. No bodies. Just claw marks on every door in the village. Perfectly aligned. Like a warning. Or a message. Because the truth was far worse than war. The werewolves never came to fight. They came to choose. The village had prepared for weeks. Ever since the hunters found the torn remains of 3 wolves near the river, their bodies mutilated, not by silver, not by traps, but by something that knew how to kill its own kind. That was when the rumors began. The werewolf clans were gathering, not to hunt humans, to start a war. And the battlefield would be the village. Every night more signs appeared. Livestock drained of blood but not eaten. Trees shredded in perfect circles, territorial markings. Footprints that stopped mid-path like the creatures vanished into thin air. Then came the worst discovery. A man named Jimmy claimed he saw a werewolf standing outside his window, unmoving, watching him sleep. When the villagers rushed outside, they found no footprints in the mud. Only one thing carved into the ground with terrifying precision. Not yet. Fear turned the village into a fortress. Silver weapons were melted and forged. Bonfires burned day and night. No one walked alone. No one slept deeply. Even Jane, who had seen vampires, witches, and things far worse, felt something was wrong. Because this didn't feel like an invasion. It felt like in preparation. Then the night arrived. The full moon hung swollen and red, low and heavy like it was watching. And the forest exploded with sound. Howls, snarls, branches snapping like bones. Not one pack, but dozens. The ground trembled from the movement. The villagers took positions. Crossbows aimed. Torches raised. The tree line shook violently. Glowing eyes appeared in the darkness. Hundreds of them waiting, watching, breathing. And then, they stepped forward. But they didn't attack. They circled the village slowly, methodically, like generals surveying territory. One massive black werewolf stepped closer than the rest. Its fur scarred, its eyes ancient, its presence commanding. It lifted its head and howled once, a long, haunting, mournful sound. Not rage, not hunger, grief. Then every werewolf turned and vanished back into the forest. Just like that, the war ended before it began. The villagers celebrated at first. They believed their defenses worked. They believed they had scared the beasts away. But Jane knew better. Because in the morning, every house had been marked with claw scratches. 3 lines on most doors, 2 lines on some, and on only one house. 5 deep slashes, carved so hard the wood split open. That house belonged to Jimmy, the man who had seen the Watcher. That night, Jimmy L. disappeared. No screams, no struggle. His bed untouched, window still locked. Only one thing left behind on the floor. A single strand of black fur, and a symbol drawn in dust beside it. A circle surrounded by claw marks, with one space left empty. Jane searched the forest for answers. Deep within the trees, she found something impossible. A clearing filled with werewolves. But they weren't fighting. They weren't hunting. They were kneeling. In the center stood the massive black alpha. And beside it, Jimmy, alive, unharmed, standing still, eyes glowing faint gold. Not afraid, not resisting, transforming. Jane realized the truth too late. There was never going to be a war. The packs weren't gathering to destroy each other. They were gathering for something sacred. An awakening. A selection. A new bloodline. The Black Alpha turned toward Jane slowly, its voice entering her mind like thunder, wrapped in whispers. The war you feared already ended centuries ago. Tonight, we choose what comes next. And then Jimmy screamed, not in pain, but in power. His bones shifted. His eyes burned brighter. The ground cracked beneath him. He wasn't becoming a werewolf. He was becoming something else. Something older. Something the packs had been waiting generations to awaken. Jane stepped back in horror as every werewolf bowed lower. Even the Alpha lowered its head. To the man. Before Jane could flee, the Alpha spoke one final time inside her mind. The war never happened because we were waiting for him. And now he will decide who survives the next one. Jimmy slowly turned toward Jane, smiling, but his eyes were no longer human.